Grand Theft Auto 5. What a game. It's been over 10 years since GTA 5 was released on the PS3 and Xbox 360. I distinctly remember when it came out. It was my freshman year of college, literally the first 2 weeks of class. I didn't even know anybody on my floor, but I remember all of us leaving after our classes to go pick up GTA 5. And I remember the first couple weeks I spent countless hours playing it. Listen, we can just say this. This was a very popular game. Listen, it was a fun game. It really is. It lasted through 3 console generations, to the PS4, Xbox One, to now PS5 and Xbox Series X. It is still going strong today. But I think the one thing we can all agree on is that the lack of a GTA 5 single player DLC was just upsetting to see. And look, when GTA 5 came out, DLC was kind of still a thing going on too. We had Call of Duty coming out with map packs and other timing cosmetics and whatnot too. Rockstar really kind of had a lot of DLC back in the day with their games. As early as Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, when they came with the Dub Edition Remix, they didn't have the DLC, but it was basically just the game itself coming out with some add-ons to it. Then of course LA Noire with some more cases here. You had Red Dead Redemption with the add-ons with the zombie apocalypse, and Midnight Club Los Angeles adding the South Central DLC pack. And of course, with GTA 4, they had their own DLC, 2 DLC add-ons with the Lost and Damned and the Ballad of Gay Tony. Now I gotta say, both those DLC add-ons were great. You can make an argument that the Ballad of Gay Tony particularly was one of the best DLCs in gaming history. No disrespect to the Lost and Damned, I don't remember really playing it as much. It was a really cool concept of biker gangs, but something about the Ballad of Gay Tony was really cool. The new characters, new vehicles, just a different setting, even though it was still in Liberty City. And you just really thought that GTA 5, with the expansion they had here with 3 characters, Los Santos, a bigger city, more heists, and add-on too, you would think they would have some really good ideas for a single player DLC, because every other game had a DLC. It was a way for companies to make more money in the DLC department, to kind of give some more life into the game. But you knew that wasn't really going to be the case, because they did eventually add GTA Online and GTA 5, and that really just skyrocketed. Very, very money hungry with the add-ons of shark cars, some ridiculous vehicles, and a bunch of really just add-ons that honestly, I feel not a lot of people, maybe myself, because GTA Online, I never really was a huge fan of. It was okay, it had its moments here, but I did like the single place games here, and I didn't want to do my pay to play win, because literally there was cars that were $20 million, and it was ridiculous, and one shark car didn't even have a fraction of what the car was worth. But you just knew when they were doing the online heist, which is another pain in the ass to even set up here. That's a whole nother discussion with that. You just knew at the back of your mind that the DLC for the single player was really just never going to be a thing. Look, I understand companies do want to make money here, but the consumers with the game just really want to see some single player add-on. You could have added the online DLC stuff, that's not a problem here, but why don't you want to market towards the guys who want to play the regular single player? Because you could have done so much more, particularly with the story itself. There were so many ideas you could have done. And look, this is just a kind of a random discussion video. I had a couple of ideas that came to mind when talking about GTA 5, because GTA 6 is coming out. Who knows when? It says May 26th, but I still don't believe it. I think it's going to get delayed for another year. I hope I'm wrong though. But I was thinking of a video idea, and then I kind of thought of GTA 6. I started playing GTA 5 a little bit again now on the PS5. They got to get back into it. And I really just started thinking about some ideas for single player DLC. Say if they ever did it, this is what I would have came up with. Because you have the 3 characters, and you could have done so much more expansion after the story. Because I feel there's a lot of things kind of missing in the story. After playing it a couple times throughout its 10+ year history, I found myself thinking they could have done a little bit more. Look with a Michael potential DLC here too. In the end, when he became a movie producer working with Solomon Richards, you knew there was a lot more potential you could have done with the character after the story. So what if a Michael DLC was to came about here too? I kind of have an idea of him being basically the movie producer, living the Hollywood lifestyle or the Vinewood lifestyle, kind of going into dark undertones of that industry. You can have Solomon Richards still around here working with Michael here in this kind of DLC scenario here, but Michael does kind of take a step forward here with Solomon Richards taking a step back, giving him the keys to the movie studio and kind of building this big production. Doesn't really get involved much in the criminal and the heist stuff here, but kind of works with rival studios here. Can kind of talk to some certain actors, getting to certain gigs here, kind of learn into the dark undertone of Hollywood itself. Again, kind of with Michael, out of all the characters, he was the one that you thought at the end of it all, maybe you weren't going to do more criminal stuff, because he was talking about retiring since the second he joined in with GTA 5. That's kind of an idea I have with Mr. DeSanta as well, or Townley, whatever his real name is. Now, there was kind of rumored concept here with Trevor, kind of with the DLC. There was going to be some sort of a single DLC. I looked it up here. They were going to make Trevor more of a Hitman style thing, kind of a spy style, kind of taking out some other people in Los Santos here. I think with the Trevor character, I didn't see him kind of working with authorities. You kind of saw that again with the kind of story itself here. So I don't know if that would have actually worked with the character of Trevor. I think this would have worked honestly more with Michael. But with Trevor, you did see him kind of in the online DLC working with the created character. I think you kind of do that more in the single player thing, kind of doing a full run of over Blaine County with Ron and Wade by his side here too, kind of running the empire of like the meth labs, the other drug rings, kind of all over Blaine County, trickling down to Los Santos, being that criminal empire that he always dreamed about since the beginning of the story. I think you could have kind of incorporated more with like Oscar Guzman, you know, kind of put him in the folder too. We kind of saw him more adding on to the DLC and online, but having him more integrated in the story with Trevor here would have been really cool too. Maybe some underground bunkers, kind of work with Ron because he is a conspiracy theorist here. You could have kind of added some more things on that as well. I think out of all the DLCs, the Trevor DLC could have been a lot of potential and it could have been really good and fun to have. Again, the rumored Hitman spy thing too. Could he have worked with Dave Norton? I have no idea. They just really didn't click together here. You could have also had Trevor here work with Lamar and Franklin, kind of tie in a little bit there as well. Maybe potentially add like a mafia style thing in there too. I'm surprised they didn't have any mafia ties within the GTA series. Speaking of Franklin, I think kind of with the Franklin character was a great start with the GTA story mode. It really was. He became my favorite character very quickly. But I think as more Michael came into the picture with Trevor being involved here, we saw Franklin kind of take a step back to being more of like a side guy with these three, which kind of really stinks. I think the character of Franklin, kind of people liked him a lot too, kind of see him rising in from the bottom all the way to the top. In the online empire we saw him running here, we kind of saw some potential. I think there could have been something more with it if it was a single player. Kind of more like a rags to riches kind of thing, kind of building up a nice drug empire with the gang warfare, kind of maybe kind of tying in a lot of the gangs together in one and running all over Grove Street. And maybe do more missions with Lamar. And I think, again, we'll get to that in a second too. I think Lamar, you could have added more missions too with Franklin here and tied him more into the story. I just think after Trevor was involved, when he got introduced in the story, we kind of lacked the Franklin character development. Again, that's just kind of what I noticed. Now, those are like the three I kind of thought of here too, but there's also a possibility you could have done maybe a map expansion DLC. Now, GTA 5's map was ridiculously huge, so I understand that, but what if we kind of add a DLC with like the North Yankton scenario? Go back to the roots. That's where Michael and Trevor kind of started off. You saw in the first mission, in the prologue, they were in North Yankton robbing that bank. Then, of course, they went back to North Yankton to find Brad's grave with Trevor and Michael there too. Maybe have a trip to the guys going to North Yankton here, maybe alone or maybe all three of them together at once. Maybe Trevor going up there to make some connections with the business, kind of connecting with some old people he knew up there. Something like that. Maybe Michael connecting with old family members up there too. That's an idea. Or maybe even kind of doing like a movie set place in North Yankton where it needed some snowy atmosphere and maybe taking a trip up there as well. You could have also added Franklin to the mix here with Trevor, kind of expanding the business here. That's another kind of DLC you can do also, kind of expand with Trevor and Franklin, putting them together. Another idea. I just think the North Yankton map, the snowy atmosphere, again, with the GTA series, there really wasn't ever a kind of a chance with the snowy kind of feel to it. I think it would have made a little bit of a cool add-on with Grand Theft Auto. And no, I'm not counting when the GTA Online did the Los Santos with the snow effects with the Christmas time, because I'm not counting that. Could have added maybe another character, kind of with GTA 4 when they did with the Ballad of Gaytoni and Lost and Damned here with Johnny here and Luis. Some along the lines like that. Maybe having more of like a Lamar section, because I think a lot of people did like Lamar, and it was great to see him in the beginning parts here, but he kind of got lost in the shuffle in the middle tail end of the story. Maybe we could have had some more missions kind of with Lamar himself, kind of with the story of Lamar, kind of building around here with Grove Street, connecting with Franklin, and definitely meeting Trevor too. I wanted some more missions with him in there. Again, maybe having his own section, his own safe house, more clothing options, something like that too, as like the fourth kind of character. Maybe he could have possibly involved some people of Michael's family. How about Jimmy? I feel like Jimmy could have had some sort of potential here. Maybe even working with Lester, kind of doing some things there. Lester worked with Michael. Michael eventually retired here, and kind of Jimmy taking over the reins here, kind of learning the business, or some sort of business, GTA business. I think that would have been cool. Maybe even having Jimmy with Lamar, something along the lines like that, kind of adding another character that's within the story, something along the lines like that. I like my little hand section here. I think the other big selling point with GTA 5 was like the heist. They did all the different heists here. The big score to the jewelry store, all those things. But I think kind of what I didn't like really, if I had to pick like nitpick little things, that I feel like we wanted a little bit more heist. Maybe like an extra one or two, because I feel like there were some that just really weren't kind of as good as I thought it was going to be, you know? Now, I know the casino was kind of rumored to be involved in a DLC heist here. We did eventually get it for online, and the online casino heist is pretty cool. Even though it's a pain to kind of set up here with people, but how about having those 3 guys doing a casino style heist? That area essentially in the map really wasn't used as much with like the racetrack kind of thing in there. Why don't you incorporate like a casino kind of heist, kind of breaking into casino, making some big money there, particularly maybe with Trevor and Franklin, maybe adding a little Michael there for his expertise. You could have done the airport as well too. The airport was used a little bit here and there, mainly with like flight school and some other things, but how about kind of doing like a heist within an airport or something along the lines like that? Maybe even a government building. I just thought of that as well. Or the military base, I would say. More like the military base, taking a fighter jet or something along the lines like that. Like another heist DLC, maybe even 2 of them, because you could have done so much. I feel like there was a lot of points in the map that really weren't used as much as you would think they would. They were used more in online, but I feel like in the single player, not as much. Or you could have went like the weird route. Like I know Red Dead did the zombie DLC. You could have done like some zombie kind of outbreak, some virus outbreak in Los Santos with GTA 5. That could have been something on there as well. Or another one, how about Franklin with the aliens thing? There was a part in the thing where you had to collect 50 spaceship parts for Franklin for Omega here. So maybe if once he collected all 50 spaceship parts and you got that vehicle from Omega, maybe kind of have like an alien sort of incorporated in there. I know there's also like a UFO you can see in GTA as well too. So maybe like incorporate some sort of like aliens within the DLC. Again, with GTA 5, it's a great game. I put it in the top list of one of my favorite games to play. It was a big part of like kind of like my gaming life. Again, when you play a game for 10 plus years, you got it the day it came out, it's going to have a part of your video game life. But looking back on it now, I feel like there's a lot of like missed opportunities for some certain things, particularly in the DLC department, because you could have added a lot more. I feel like there's a lot of things, especially character-wise, you could have added, and even within the map itself. Now, I understand Rockstar is a business. I understand that everything in life is a business. You want to make money. But it just stinks because I feel like, again, with GTA 5, they overtook the online so much, it kind of got chaotic. And honestly, at some points, I feel like it just didn't become fun. A constant grind that really didn't matter because at the end of the day, you had younger kids getting shark cards for like $300 billion to get some random stuff. And it just really wasn't as fun anymore. I think what they should have done was incorporate some more single player DLC alongside with the online DLC. Because at the end of the day, again, like I said, GTA 5 was a fun game. But that was just like a random kind of discussion video that I have on this channel. But what do you think down below? Are you upset that we never got a single player GTA 5 DLC? Did you like my ideas? Did you hate my ideas? Let me know down below. Do you have an idea that I haven't thought of? Definitely let me know down below. Let's have a discussion. And thank you so much for checking out this channel. Check out this video on this channel. My name is Fonz the Falco. Consider this channel like a grab bag of stuff. Some random discussions, some top 10s, review of things, a vlog here and there. Again, it's just videos I like to make here, and I just kind of put them on this channel. If you do like jerseys, football, basketball, whatnot too, I have a jersey channel talking exclusives, sports uniforms. That is Fonz Talks Jerseys. The link for that is down below. You can also follow my TikTok and Instagram at Fonz the Falco, my Jersey Instagram page at Fonz Talks Jerseys. All that stuff is down below. Got a lot of stuff cooking up for this channel here. A lot of good stuff here. Again, like a grab bag of stuff. If you like some certain things, check it out. If you're interested, why not? I definitely appreciate all the love and support. Have a good day, good night, good evening, whenever you're watching said video. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace out.